Two teams looking for their first win in almost 2 months face off tonight at Trinity Health Stadium as Hartford Athletic plays San Diego Loyal. Hi, everybody. Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. And Mark, a short week for Athletic. They played Monday night in Virginia at Loudoun in a game, another one, unfortunately, that slipped away.
Yeah, but it's a first home game for new coach Omid Namadzi, and it's an opportunity for him to put square pegs in square holes, and an opportunity for Hartford to give back to the supporters and get all 3 points at home for the first time since 1976. Joe?
That game Monday night got off to a great start for Athletic.
It did, and Danny Barrera with a wonderful through ball. Prince Sadie, this is the Prince Sadie from before the injury. The touch, the turn, and the over-enthusiastic celebration, but then the problem that Hartford are having of late, not tracking runners. That's a good goal, but also defensively. Kavirad, what are you doing? Nice finish again. But how many times this season, Joe, have Hartford gifted goals to the opposition?
One to watch tonight for Hartford, a guy who needs to get going offensively in Elvis Amo.
He just needs to put the ball in the back of the net. Give me a scuffed goal. Give me anything for Elvis Amo, and it's no surprise this week they've been working on him putting the ball in the back of the net, because all he needs is one. Like any good striker, you put the ball in the back of the net and hopefully they will flow, but one ain't coming right now. Hopefully that changes tonight.
And the one to watch for San Diego, their leading scorer, Evan Conway.
Yeah, 6 goals this season. He had 9 last season. He got the second goal on Saturday at Indy, and that was a bizarre game. They were 2-0 up, and just the player you can see with the long hair, Kyle Adams, gave away a penalty, and they were playing against 10 men, and they ended up losing the lead that they had and had to settle for a point. They score nice goals, good individual movement, but they also give up cheap goals. Can we expect goals tonight from two sides that struggle to keep clean sheets? I certainly hope so.
Lineups and kickoff next as Hartford hosts San Diego.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Welcome back everybody watching. Welcome to Hartford Athletic joining the USL Championship here in 2019.
Is this the moment? Jose Angulo! Dillon Stadium alive again!
Hartford Athletic get the win, and in a week they will host their first playoff game in club history.
Number 2, United Soccer League, Hartford Athletic, Bethlehem Steel. Bethlehem goalie trying to throw the ball out. Danny Barrera's like, I got that right here.
Dixon, long range effort. Oh my, that is magnificent from Alex Dixon. With purpose, crossed over and scored. Prince Sadie, long range effort. Oh, that's spectacular.
Oh, it's a glory strike. Where did gravity go? Obregon Jr.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank the Mandel JCC, the official fitness center of Hartford Athletic. Visit mandeljcc.org to learn more. Last Fly Airport Parking, a proud partner of the Hartford Athletic. Save 20% on your airport parking by pre-booking on lastfly.com. A hot, humid night in Connecticut's capital city. Our starting lineups brought to you by Liberty Bank. Shockingly, a different lineup for Hartford.
Yep, Three changes from last time out. 2-1 at Loudon on Monday. Robin Lappert is replaced by Niall Logue in defence. There's a change at left back. Luke Merrill drops back to left back to replace Matt Sheldon. And Andre Lewis drops to the bench, and back comes Antoine Opino. Elvis Amo just desperate for a goal. For San Diego Loyal, two changes from the side that were 2-0 up at Indy 11 but drew 2-2 last Saturday. Kyle Adams gave away the penalty, is dropped on the bench. Nick Moon is injured. Grant Stoneman and Blake Bodley come in. Conway and Perez, who's in form, supported by Toomey in a three-man attack.
Starting lineups brought to you by Liberty Bank. 86 degrees, wind blowing right to left at about 9 miles an hour. San Diego dressed in the orange, trimmed in white. Hartford in the familiar green with white trim and blue pants. San Diego winless in 6, 0-2-4. Hartford has lost 4 straight and winless in 7, scoring just 7 goals in that stretch. As we are, we know we're not waiting for TV because we're TV and we're ready.
Yeah, this is a big one for a couple of people. Omid Namadzi, first game in charge for the new coach, replacing Tab Ramos, and a first home game start for a while for Danny Barrera, captaining the side today.
Joe Rice back in goal for the second straight game, comes off the line. Really could not be faulted on either of the Loudon goals last week. What do you make of the different formation for Hartford tonight, Mark?
Well, I think one of the keys to that is Tristan Hodge, who's back from international duty with Trinidad and Tobago. They really have missed someone to protect the back four. The keys to the game, clearly, the midfielders have got to track runners. Juan Pablo Torres let his man go at Loudon. That caused problems. And for San Diego Loyal, they've just got to limit opposition chances because there's too many chances and opportunities being given and given away by the San Diego defense.
Keys to the game brought to you by the Hoffman Auto Group. Our referee, Alexis De Silva, doing his 8th USL Championship game. As you see, Niall Logue, who didn't play in 2 of the last 3, but is back in the starting 11 tonight. Although Danny Barrera will continue to wear the captain's band. Connor McGlynn plays it back. It's a San Diego team, Mark, that'll put pressure on you in your defensive half of the field.
Yeah, I think for the opposition teams, Joe, just looking at the tape of Hartford, and remember Memphis came here and won, and they pressed with 4 forwards, and that's what San Diego will try and do today. But it does mean gaps for Hartford to try and exploit.
Here's Barrera, gives to Hodge. Tristan back, hasn't played in the last 4, was away with Trinidad and Tobago for 3 of those games, and served a red card suspension for another. Tried to get a ball through to Amo, but San Diego able to clear it and plays it long upfield. Lowe gets it away from Conway, and McGlynn will get there before it gets to Rice. We've seen Edgardo Rito play a couple of different positions since he's came to Hartford from Oakland, and yesterday when we talked to Omid Namazi, he said that Rito is a right back in his system.
Yeah, but he needs to work on his defense.
There's a ball played up for Toomey, but Rito gets there first and plays it back to Joe Rice.
Having worked on his defense.
Right, exactly. Worked well there.
We rehearsed that, didn't we, in pregame, and it worked.
We spent hours preparing our opening 10 minutes.
That's
Here's
good.
Torres. Here's Sadie. Got the first goal, the only goal against Loudon for Amo, and he sends it towards the fireworks display.
And it's just come down. However, let's take a look at that move. It's quick passing to begin with. Look at Opino, totally clear. Now, yes, it goes to Amo, that's fine, no problem with that. It's a difficult chance. But Antoine Opino getting in support as well, that's a big thing. But that comes about because Hartford play quick passes to try and break the press. Good start from Hartford.
And that is something that we saw a lot of in the first half against Loudon.
Offside.
Here's Opino, but he's offside. we saw that in the first half against Loudoun, and I was at training in Thursday, no sun out, so I wasn't at the beach, and they worked on quick passes getting out of their own end. 14 is Aiden Perez, loses to Merrill. Well, Perez gets it back, plays it up to Moshabon. 1v1 with Lowe, cuts towards the middle. Hodge gets in the way. Nice play by Tristan to drop back, and now it's Merrill. Luke Merrill started 6 of the last 7. Has really become part of the circle of trust for Omid Namazi. Once again, they try to set Sadie sprinting on the right. Here's Prince, nice move in the box, plays it through. Barrera's shot is blocked. Hodge run off the ball, and that'll be our first foul of the game, called against Evan Conway.
Super first 4.5 minutes from Omid Namazi and his players. This is exactly the start that he wants.
Tristan Hodge slow to get up.
He'll be fine.
Run over by Conway.
He's a huge component in what Hartford want to do on the field. Played in some high-profile games when he was away with Trinidad and Tobago. He did have that daft red card before he went away on international duty. That's one of the things Namazi was asking for, better discipline for his players. They've got a chance here from this free kick.
Connor McGlynn set the play in motion in his 83rd game in blue and green. Hartford offside again. Trinity Health of New England, proud to be the official medical provider and title partner of Hartford Athletic. Always committed to providing the best healthcare experience every day for every patient. Trinity Health of New England, care that's always there. No score. Approaching the 7th minute. Time of possession has belonged to Hartford. On the far side. Played into the middle. 17, the former Athletic midfielder, Colin Martin. Plays it back to Cam Riley. In the middle it goes to Grant Stoneman, replacing Kyle Adams in the starting lineup. Played up ahead on the far side for Blake Bodley. Towards the box, Logue gets it in the air. Wide open in the middle, Joe Corona. Set up for Perez in the box. Left footer, knocked away from danger by Logue. Amo comes back to help clear. First concerted pressure we've seen from the orange and white. And it's played back to the 27-year-old from Las Vegas, Koke Vegas.
Utilizing the link-up with both Landon Donovan and others who are involved in Mallorca, Real Mallorca in La Liga. He spent time over there, goalkeeper Koke Vegas.
Good steal by Rito. Running through. Here's Rito, too far. A little too much mustard on that one, and it sails over the goal line. But we see the Hartford change in strategy. Attack, push, especially looking up the right side where they've got Rito and Prince Sadie.
Well, you never know what you're going to get with Edgardo Rito, but you know you're going to get everything that he's got as long as they can cover for him when he goes forward. But if they can utilize him more as an attacking option rather than a defensive option, then things must be going well. The concern I would have tonight is not so much Luke Merrill as a player, but the fact he's a right footer who always looks to come back on his right foot playing at left back.
Played to Merrill on the left. Sends it cross field to Barrera, the captain. Tries to split the defense. Plays to Amo, looking for space. Finds Sadie on the right. Drop back to Rito. Edgardo plays it back to McGlynn. Hartford stringing some passes together, but not quite moving forward. Rito sends one, headed in the air, cleared out. Nice kick on the volley by Joe Corona. Back to midfield where it's played by Logue. This just the second meeting all time between these teams. San Diego won last year in one of America's most beautiful cities by a score of 3-0. Match to remember for a match to forget, rather, for Athletic. Nice anticipation by Logue. And Alexis De Silva calls it off Hartford, and Omid Namazi having a word with one of the assistant referees on the near touch line. This is a San Diego team that's tied for 6th with 27 goals for, but tied for 14th and most goals conceded with 25. Of course, Hartford conceding 36 goals more than anybody in USL Championship through the first half of the season. You see Vegas come out of the goal, and one of the things they do with him is they bring him out to start the offense. And, you know, we saw in the highlight package, Danny Barrera might have something to say about that. Here's 3v2. Pass in the middle for Toomey. Left-footed shot. Whistles it wide.
He's got to score. And there's another example of Hartford at the back giving far too much space and time. And Toomey really has to hit the target. If he hits the target, the ball's in the back of the net. Again, they're playing. Look at the space. Niall Logue's got far too deep. Juan Pablo Torres is nowhere near his man. Toomey's got the freedom of Connecticut to take a touch and put the ball in the back of the net. And that's a huge let-off for the home side. San Diego should be one up.
Please join us in thanking founding partner, the Hartford, for educating children about fire safety with their Junior Fire Marshal program. Visit juniorfiremarshal.com to learn more. So the best chance of the game for the South African, Tumi Moshabon. Elvis Amo called for the foul. So it'll be San Diego ball. 17, Colin Martin. Plays it back to Stoneman.
They get their wing backs very advanced when they have possession of the ball. So back three for San Diego. Cam Riley on the right-hand side, Grant Stoneman in the middle, and Elijah Martin as the left centre back. But that allows Adrian Perez and Blake Bodley to get forward. And once again here, Perez is an option.
Perez cuts to the middle, gets it back on the one touch. Space to run as Hartford retreats. Perez stayed with it, but Sadie able to take it away. Prince has his jersey grabbed, and now the foul is called. And that might be our first yellow card of the match, and it will be.
Could easily have been 2 yellows there. One for the jersey tug, which advantage was played, and then the second one correctly dished out. Prince Sadie, this is back to the form we saw before he got hurt.
Third yellow card of the year for the Californian Adrian Perez. So Connor McGlynn will put it in play from midfield. No score, 13th minute. On a sultry night at Trinity Health Stadium. Great crowd on hand. Logue plays it ahead, but gave the ball away. This is Joe Corona. Plays in the middle to Martin. To a speeding Conway. Plays it for Toomey. In the box,
good
taken
tackle.
down by McGlynn. That's a good tackle.
Great tackle.
McGlynn goes to check on Moshe Bond, but good job getting back by Connor McGlynn. Not the fastest of players, but has good instincts.
Yeah, this is a league, certainly a conference, the Eastern Conference. I haven't seen too many teams with a lot of pace at the back, and there's usually pace right up against them in opposition, and it's always something that opposition teams feel they can get at opposing centre backs. But once you go to ground like Connor McGlynn there, you've got to be sure to win the ball, and that was a super tackle.
Joe Rice punts it away. Conway momentarily, but Rito's there to distribute back to McGlynn. McGlynn and Logue, the two center backs. Connor McGlynn has gone the distance the last 11 games. Giveaway by Merrill on a sloppy distribution. Now Martin to Perez on the right. Merrill takes him down, and that'll be a dangerous situation for San Diego just outside the box to the left
So that
of the keeper.
Sorry, Joe, that starts with Hartford having the ball. Luke Merrill gives it away with a poor pass. The problem for Hartford, their best defensive midfielder is also their best left back, and you can't clone Tristan Hodge. And as a result of giving the ball away, now they've given an opportunity away to San Diego.
Joe Corona taking his time getting the ball to give to the captain, Charlie Adams, who was injured May 6 against Orange County and missed 6 games. Came back last week. All-time San Diego leader in assists with 15 for his career. He's got 3 this season. Now this is Corona, number 15 in orange and blue. Adams punched over the goal by Joe Rice. It'll be our first corner kick of the night.
Kept an eye on Joe Rice there, and he was giving a fair bit of the goal away on his left-hand side at the corner. He was well aware what he was doing, and it wasn't a surprise that they went for a direct attempt on goal. They've got the first corner of the game.
Hartford Athletic would like to thank our founding partner, Travelers. Thanks to Travelers, presenting partner of our Community Champion program. Children from undeserved communities throughout Greater Hartford are able to come to matches free of charge. First corner kick of the night. Come to the right of Joe Rice, adjacent to the supporters section. Here's a volley by Perez and an easy play for Joe Rice.
Before Perez got the volley in, he took out Elvis Amo and got away with it. It's a poor kick from Joe Rice. Hartford have got to be more careful with possession of the ball. They started well in the first 10 minutes. The last 5 minutes, though, very sloppy, and San Diego have been much the better side.
San Diego has had much, as you've said, much better possession of the ball than they did at the start. San Diego forms up the attack. On the far side, this is Adams. Plays it back to Colin Martin, back to Adams. Sends it towards the box, headed out of there by McGlynn. Torres to Opino on the run. Here's Opino. Lots of room on the left side, 1v1. Sends it across, knocked away. Was trying to find Barrera in the middle, and too much territory to cross that time. But now Hodge regains possession. Sadie distributes right to Edgardo Rito. Rito in his 6th game after being acquired from Oakland. Barrera and Torres play catch. Now Torres plays it back to McGlynn. Hartford trying to form the attack. Barrera, nice distribution to Sadie. Back to Barrera as Rito makes a run towards goal. Played to Opino, or rather to Merrill on the near side. Now Opino slips, and it's taken away. Martin plays it ahead. Here's Moshobon, gets away from one. Stutter steps, has a man wide open. Finds him 1v1. Here's Conway and a goal. Evan Conway with his 7th of the season, and San Diego gets on the board first.
Let me see a replay of the goal. I want you to watch Connor McGlynn. He doesn't need to be coming into the left-hand side. There's already 2 players there. He gets caught in no man's land. He should be further over. He should be much closer to Evan Conway. Instead of trying to stop the ball from getting in the back of the net after it's gone beyond the goalkeeper, Joe Rice, that is a lot on Connor McGlynn, because he's just totally forgotten that he should be with his man. There's already 2 over here. He doesn't need to make it 3. And once again, that's been coming with the way that Hartford are defending, and that's been their biggest Achilles heel this season, the way they have defended.
Here's Openo, tracks it down, taking off his foot. So Conway's 7th of the season. Moshe Bon gets his 4th assist, and in the 17th minute, San Diego jumps on top. And from the not news you want to hear department, when Hartford concedes first this year, they're 0-7-1.
And when they score first, they've dropped 16 points from winning positions. So there's a key couple of stats as to why Hartford are in the position that they're in.
Hodge distributes left to Luke Merrill. Back to Logue. Once again, just defensive breakdowns that leave the keeper, whether it's Rice or when he's in Richard Sanchez, out on an island.
But when you've had 17 games and 17 different formations, there's also been 17 different defensive formations. There's no stability at the back, and that's something that Omid Namazi is going to try and introduce, so players know where others are going to be, but you can't legislate for individual errors. And while it was an individual error initially that Moshuban got the ball, it was also an individual error from Connor McGlynn. He just took his eye off the ball and drifted to the wrong spot.
Logue to a streaking Amo, but the offside flag is up. Amo offside that time.
Once again, a super crowd for a Hartford home game. Fans this season have been absolutely exceptional.
The supporters have not lost the faith. Logue with the header. Barrera plays it ahead to Torres. He's taken off the ball, and Corona starts the counter. Once again, San Diego on the offensive. Played through for Toomey. Nice drop back. Perez was open. Here's a shot from distance. Sailed wide. Joe Corona from about 21 yards out had Rice beat, but fired it wide. And boy, the tide has certainly turned from the opening minutes, Mark.
Hartford are all over the place at the back. That cutback didn't go to who it was meant to go to, where it was meant to go to. It was played behind his teammate, yet still there wasn't a green jersey there to get to the ball first.
Hartford played well in the opening minutes, but ever since, after they had an opportunity that Amo sailed well over the goal, San Diego has turned the tide.
They're a good team. They need a win as well. You can look at it, they failed to win their last 6, but they've drawn 4 of them, and they should have won their last game at Indy 11 last Saturday when they were 2-0 up against 10 men, but somehow contrived to only get a point.
Hayden Quinn, 2 penalty kicks, 66 and 82nd minute for the 11. Loyal forming up near sideline. Merrill knocks it away from Aiden Perez. It'll be an athletic throw-in taken by Cam Riley. You see Vegas way out of the goal to help facilitate the start of the offense.
Yeah, he's a good keeper. He's a sweeper keeper. He's very good. Probably the best goalkeeper in the league with the ball at his feet.
Stoneman in the middle to a wide open Perez in Hartford territory. Slows it back to Riley as San Diego with the 1-0 lead forms up. They change fields. Bodley on the far side. Martin distributes back, and they'll reset the attack. That's Elijah Martin. And Charlie Adams directed him to send it back to Stoneman. Now Riley, as Openo closes on him. Perez with a pretty back heel. But Logue is there to intercept. Gives to Openo. Tried to set up a give and go, but Amo couldn't get to the pass. McGlynn slides to knock it out of danger. Torres on the volley to Danny Barrera.
This isn't a case of picking on on Connor McGlynn, because we've mentioned the reason why Hartford, or one of the reasons why they've conceded as many goals, because of a poor quality defending on many occasions, is because it's very rare for the same players to play alongside each other in the same game on more than one occasion. But then Logue had gone forward and McGlynn had gone back, and as a result they're playing everybody on side. So as that one goes out of play for a throw-in, it's just something you've got to work on in training during the week. You've got to have that relationship built up. You've got to pick your two centre-backs. That's who you're going with. But you've got to remember as well, it was Robin Lappert that played alongside Connor McGlynn last time out on Monday against Loudon, and now it's Niall Logue, so you don't get that consistency.
Rito tries to control on the far side against Bodley. Sadie, who got Hartford's only goal in Loudon, ending a long streak without putting the ball in the back of the net for Prince. Amo scoots out of a hold. Merrill to Openo. Distributes in the middle to Barrera. Danny loads up and puts it over the goal.
Better from Hartford. That little bit of magic from Danny Barrera to bamboozle and confuse San Diego's defense just opened a little bit of space up for him, and certainly not frightened to score from distance. We've seen him score from inside his own half before, but that's better from Hartford. The concern for Hartford is not middle to front. It's what happens at the back when San Diego have the ball and go against the Hartford defense.
Lyco Office Furniture, a proud sponsor of the Hartford Athletic for over 40 years. Lyco Office Furniture has been furnishing startup to Fortune 500 companies all over New England. Go to lycoinc.com to learn more. And we've got a card on Elijah Martin in the 26th minute. As you get a look at the 27-year-old, just had a birthday on Tuesday. So for Martin, just his second yellow of the year. And here's a potentially dangerous situation for Hartford.
This is Danny Barrera territory.
Referee Alexis De Silva in his 8th USL game of the year, marking off 10 yards.
Likes a yellow card, the ref, doesn't he?
He gave out, was it 7? His last game he worked.
Interestingly enough, Danny Barrera's the one that's left the ball to go out to the right-hand side.
Sadie and Juan Pablo Torres over the ball. Connor McGlynn is up. Logue is up on the left. 1-0 in favor of San Diego on the Conway goal in the 17th minute on a defensive breakdown by Athletic. Sadie wastes the opportunity.
The best free kick taker in the team is also the captain, and Prince Sadie has taken that with the blessing of the captain, because he walked away, and that was a mess.
Not capitalizing on the potential opportunity. Oh, Merrill slipped, and that could have been disastrous as Adrian Perez was sniffing the ball out. Hodgin Logue play catch, now Torres drops back, gives to Barrera. Left foots it up ahead, and Vegas comes off the line.
They kind of play with a hybrid when they're defending. It's a hybrid 4 that becomes a 5, and it's initially 3 at the back from San Diego. So Riley, Stoneman, and Martin are joined by Bodley to make a 4. Bodley, the left back, but at times they will push Adrian Perez back to try and stop Antoine Openo. So it's a kind of hybrid formation that Nate Miller goes with.
McGlynn fouled. Yellow card for Conway. Just his second card of the year. 3rd yellow card already for San Diego. We've only played 28 minutes. McGlynn slow to get up. Let's see the infraction by Evan Conway here.
think he's overly happy, Nate Miller, that 3 challenges have resulted in 3 yellow cards. It's usually Hartford that happens to this season.
Right. And this is a team that's 3rd from the bottom for the number of yellow cards this year.
Yeah, they're not a dirty team.
That's only their 36th yellow card. So let's see what Hartford concocts here. Not much. Tried to find Amo, but he was well covered, dressed in orange shirts, so. Big game tonight in the league. Pittsburgh and Sacramento. Pittsburgh unbeaten in 10. Last loss April 22nd to El Paso. Part of a 3-way tie for first in the East. Memphis could have made it a 4-way tie last night, but they got taken to the woodshed by San Antonio, losing at home 4-0. Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. Tom Stanwicks, Bobby Kaplan in the crew. Merrill tries to play it through. Back to Hodge. Distributes right to Barrera. 1 touch to McGlynn. Now Barrera. Can't get it back off the deflection. Good play by Hodge. Tristan looking to create something. Back it goes. Now Torres. Torito pushing up. But Bodley is there to take him off the play and clear it up. McGlynn pressing forward for Athletic. Back to Rito with space. Here's Edgardo. Punched out by Vegas. Volleyed out by Adams. Amo tries to keep it alive. Barrera can't get there. Now Merrill. Hartford resets. All 10 field players up in the San Diego defensive half. Rito to Sadie in the middle. 1 touches it away, and Hodge takes down Colin Martin. So it will be Loyal ball. Tonight's youth soccer teams of the match: Soccer Club of New Milford and Amity Soccer Club. 1-0 San Diego on the Evan Conway goal from Tumi Moshobon in the 17th minute. Shots on goal 5-4.
Yeah, they deserve the lead. The better team is ahead. They've done more with the ball, San Diego, than Hartford has done. And they'll feel, the visitors, that there are more goals for them. The problem that they've had is keeping clean sheets, so there's hope for Hartford.
Now San Diego. Corona against the double team. Good pressure by Hartford, forced the ball to be kicked out of bounds. Thrown in quickly to Logue. His pass eludes Hodge. Here comes Conway. On the run, Corona on the right flank. Left foots it back for Toomey. Corona drops it back for Adrian Perez, and it's offside against San Diego.
That's interesting because Joe Corona is saying that the touch was actually by Luke Merrill, who played it back, and I thought Luke did well to get the touch on the ball. So therefore, if it was a Hartford player playing it back, a San Diego player couldn't have been offside, but the assistant on this near side, Jerry Smith, thought it was an orange touch that sent it forward, and that Joe Corona was offside.
Jeremy Smith, Patrick Casey, the assistants, Christian Santino, the fourth official. We've seen him in that role this year. Boy, Hartford playing with fire there. Now Torres with plenty of room to run. Gives it up to the captain. Barrera veers left. Looks to change direction. Plays for Torres. Juan Pablo distributes left. Merrill can't control. Had a little too much pace, and it'll be a goal kick for San Diego.
Okay, so that's a high-risk, high-reward strategy. It looks like it's not going to come off, but it did. The fact that they're playing from the back. There's still the problem. When you're playing a through ball to Luke Merrill, he wants it on his right side. He's playing left back. It's an issue playing a right-footed player who doesn't normally play at left back on that side. And once again, a chance goes a begging.
Hartford controls after the goal kick. McGlynn plays it off to Hodge. Now Sadie drops back. Hartford trying to form up the attack. One touch to Rito, looking for space. Pass to Barrera. Sends it towards the box, headed out of there. Cleared out of danger very nicely by San Diego.
Okay, Joe, the last 5 times that Hartford have put a ball into the box and it's been cleared away, San Diego's won the second ball. Hartford have got to be better at winning the ball after it's headed clear.
Bodley knocks it away to Elijah Martin. Here's Toomey. Had the assist on the goal.
Space.
Plenty of room to run for Toomey Moshabon. 1v1 now goes into Hodge's territory. Nice deflection by Hodge. Sadie starts back for Hartford. Barrera in the center circle, distributes to Amo. Elvis dribbling cross field into a sea of orange shirts, and Loyal takes possession.
There was a big ooh from the crowd, and that was because there was the biggest bolt of lightning I think I've ever seen. Now, it looks like it's way, way in the distance, but there's some really menacing crowds.
Clouds.
The crowds will be very menacing
right,
if
Hartford doesn't score,
again.
right?
But
exactly.
Yes, there's some menacing clouds as well. Oh, goodness me.
Look at Vegas so far out to help start the play for San Diego. Hartford Athletic would like to thank Nuova Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop for supporting our Goals for Meals program. For every Hartford Athletic goal scored this year, Nuova Pasta, Connecticut, and Stop and Shop will donate meals to the Stop and Shop School Food Pantry program. Kids not getting any food tonight. 1-0 in favor of San Diego as we play in the 36th minute. Now Blake Bodley. And Rito gets called for the tackle. Foul on Hartford.
We're at that time of the year, aren't we, when if there's lightning in the area and it's close enough that games can get delayed. We saw that on Monday night, and the finish of that game at Loudon was way past your bedtime.
I had called it a night well before that. Plus the fact I had to be up at 3 o'clock the next morning.
That's when the game nearly finished.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably when they got back to the hotel.
Yeah.
Played through for Toomey. He had Riley on the run-up. It'll be a throw-in.
Interesting there. The deepest outfield player for Hartford was Juan Pablo Torres because McGlynn and Logue had gone forward to do their defending a little bit further forward. And the line was better that time, and had the ball have gone through, it would have been offside against San Diego. So they're getting there. That's good from Opino.
Nice play by Antoine. But Amo can't control. McGlynn boots it out of there. On the counter. Hodge comes up limping. Meanwhile, this is Perez. Gets past Merrill. Sends it in front and cleared out by Logue for the second corner kick of the night for San Diego.
Too easy. And if Nate Miller hasn't already identified that that left back area is a problem for Hartford, and I'm sure he has, anytime they get the ball, they should just play it out to this area because this is where they're going to get joy. And it's nothing against Luke Merrill. He more than anybody, will give everything that he's got. But the poor kid's not a left back.
Right. He's trying to play a position that he's really not suited for.
Yeah.
Corner kick from the left of Joe Rice to be taken by the captain. Charlie Adams is the referee. Alexis De Silva has some words. Amo getting into a bumping match. Kick played back, not a very good corner kick. Cleared out of danger. Bodley up on the left. Sent towards the box, headed just wide.
Everybody in a Hartford jersey at the back's pointing fingers. No, that's your man. No, you should have had him. Who was picking him up? They were all over the place. San Diego really should be 3-0 up. They probably scored from their hardest of the 3 chances that they had. And that, in all honesty, was a sitter.
McGlynn straight up the middle, uncontested. Hartford looking for a handball, nothing called. Colin Martin plays catch with Corona. I played catch with a Corona before, but it's been in my hand.
I've never chucked anything. I've just got a Corona bottle up into the air.
Ball taken off Moshe Bain's foot. Torres plays it up ahead to Sadie. Prince trying to avoid the double team. Drops back to Danny Barrera. The captain making his 7th start of the season. 2nd in a row. Now Logue did not even play last week. Merrill with space. Luke Merrill tackled from behind. Openo keeps it in and just clears it clear across.
There's a lot going on there. No foul was given when it looked like it might have been, and then Antoine Openo, Elvis Amo looked as though it was a simple plate to him and he scores, but it was overhit and behind it goes for a goal kick. I mean, it's a great run. That's a foul all day long. But he's let play go, and Antoine Openo all the time in the world, a free Elvis Amo, and he overhits it. That is why Hartford are where they are in the table.
Hartford Athletic would like to extend a special thanks to our partners, Jim Beam Bourbon and Hornitos Plata Tequila. Of course, we have fireworks tonight, the Hartford Bonanza, which was postponed on July the 3rd. Athletic would like to have some fireworks at the offensive end, trying to end this 4-match losing streak. Openo in the orange kicks to Merrill. Drop back to Hodge, to Merrill, and they drop it back to Logue. Played up ahead, but San Diego's there, and Martin clears it upfield where it'll be run down by Niall Logue. Shots on goal. Shots tonight, 6-4 San Diego. Here's Openo. Always hustling on the left. Antoine Openo gets to the goal line. And it's a goal kick for San Diego as the ball went over the goal line. As you look at the Frenchman, one thing you can never question about Antoine Openo is his work ethic.
It's just been his discipline this season that's let him down. The interesting thing that Omid Namazi was saying, he doesn't want to take the kind of battling qualities out of his players, but it's stupid yellow cards for dissent and talking back that really annoy people.
Perez gets around Merrill. Adrian Perez puts it on goal. It's blocked.
They can appeal all they want, but the arms were by the side. That's never a penalty in a million years. But once again, they're getting in this left-back position.
Merrill against the double team. On the run, here's Torres. He's got Sadie to the right, gives it to him. Prince tries to get his steps, puts it on goal and sends it way wide.
The biggest problem there was the pace of the pass by Juan Pablo Torres. He has passed to the player and not to where the player was going to be. That could and should have been a lot better. That there. You've got the opportunity, if there's no one in front of you, to hold on to it a little bit more. Let Prince Sadie make the run, take the defender with him, or play the pass into the space. Another opportunity goes a-begging.
Logue there. Second ball, Amo. Gives it up to Sadie. In the middle, Barrera telegraphed the pass, stolen by San Diego. Perez with all day to run onto the ball. Drop it back to Cam Riley. I would not think we'll have much stoppage time. Famous last words. Perez plays it back. At least one fan unhappy. Played up on the left. Here's Martin. In the middle with 15, Joe Corona. San Diego showing great patience. And again, Coque Vegas maybe 25 yards, 30 yards out of the goal to help facilitate the buildup.
I'm sure there's many of you that watch the English Premier League and the likes of Allison and Ederson. They do that as well. Once again, Hartford in trouble.
3-on-2. Perez against Logue. Distributes on the left. Giveaway. Logue can't control. Perez chips it aimlessly over the goal. And Hartford survives what was a potentially dangerous situation for San Diego. Quick restart as we approach the end of regulation time here in the first half. And we just learned that Brignall Vineyard stoppage time, 2 minutes of stoppage time. You know, I have a stopwatch in my head. It's sometimes painful. Hodge to an open Torres. Gives to Sadie. Wheels to the middle. Gives to Amo. Back to an open Barrera. Danny lagging. Giving it to Merrill. Luke Merrill drops it back to Logue. Hartford tries to form the build-up. Rito open on the right. They give McGlynn all the room in the world. Pass in the middle, tipped. Here's Torres. Tried to distribute it through, and San Diego knocks it away. Hartford regains. Torres to Openo. Towards the box, and it just was missed by Amo on the dive. Good effort by Elvis Amo as he tried to dive for the header there.
Hartford started the game the better of the two teams, and they're ending the first half as the better of the two teams, and that'll certainly be a positive for new coach Omid Namazi. Just lacking that little bit of quality, but again, they can get in behind the defense of San Diego and they could cause some problems in there.
Elijah Martin with the restart. Logue puts it in the air. Wayward header by Toomey. Now Barrera. Back to Sadie. Off to Logue. The Irishman plays it in the middle for Openo, but he was well covered. Merrill will get to it first. Looks for Openo in the box. Dribbles it outside the box against the triple team. And again, Hartford wants a handball. Nothing there. Now Hodge. Plays it back to McGlynn pressing up. Sadie drops back to help. Sadie with an aimless shot.
Desperate from Sadie. When Hartford have the ball, one thing that Nate Miller, the San Diego coach, is saying to his midfielders is to squeeze, to get closer. Not much space between the defense and the midfield, and he wants the forwards to get back and help Evan Conway, and there's very little space for Hartford to exploit as the halftime whistle goes.
So, 45 minutes in the books. In the 17th minute, Toomey Moshaban set up Evan Conway, and Conway scored his 7th goal of the year. So, at the half, San Diego 1, Hartford 0. Mark and I will be back with our halftime activities next here on MyTV9 and ESPN+.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Announcing the inaugural Capital City Music and Beer Festival, presented by Hoffman Auto. 80s Night with a Flock of Seagulls on July 14th, and Reggae Vibrations Tour with the legendary Wailers on July 15th. 2 days, 6 bands, and 40 brands of beer.
Halftime at Trinity Health Stadium, San Diego. On the Evan Conway goal, leads Hartford 1-0. Hartford, kind of a donut first half. They started and ended well, but not much in the middle.
Do you remember the old coach Bear Bryant and his famous phrase about defense wins championships? Well, you've got to defend better than Hartford did. Going forward, 2, 3, 4 chances that they had of different quality, and Elvis ammo with that one over the bar. But again, it was a positive opening for Hartford. But look at the defending here from Hartford. You just cannot do that. They were all over the place. And Tumi Moshoban has got all the time in the world to take a touch and another touch. Flips the post and goes wide. That was a sign of things to come. Joe Rice saying, well, what is happening here? Connor McGlynn comes across, wearing 28. Totally forgets that he's got a job to do on the far side and to get closer to the man that scores the goal. There's already 2 green jerseys over here. He wasn't required. Instead, he ends up flailing to try and stop the ball in the back of the net. Nothing Joe Rice can do about that. But the difficulty of Hartford this season and the problem they've had is giving goals away so easily to the opposition.
7th of the year for Evan Conway. Here's another Hartford potential opportunity.
Again, given away by San Diego, but it was the initial pass. This one here, that does absolutely nothing. He's got time, he's got space in front of him. Take it for a run. Make sure that Elijah Martin has a decision to make, to either go to Juan Pablo Torres or to go to Prince Saidi. Then make your decision. But the pass was a nothing pass that didn't have enough pace on it. Hartford have caused problems. This is a San Diego side that were 2-0 up against 10 men and couldn't get the job done. They can be fragile. That's got to be the message that Omid Namazi is saying at halftime, along with the fact they need to defend better and they need a change at left back, whether it's Tristan Hodge going there and bringing on Kibato for the last half hour because that's all he's got after his foot injury. Something needs to be done for Hartford because they will get chances in this second half. How many they give up, that's the problem.
Halftime storylines next.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Slide this in behind. Now it comes for Valesky. Tries to leave it there for Gleedle. Sam Gleedle. It's a tap in for Christian Valesky. And Monterey Bay are absolutely flying tonight. Bomasoso. Right through the middle. Johnny Rodriguez. Rodriguez scores! Something out of nothing for the Oakland Roots.
If anyone thinks cancer is going to define you, they've got another thing coming. We know you are more than someone healing their heart. At Trinity Health, we know the importance of seeing the person behind the patient, the fear, the joy, the journey. Bringing you the expert medical teams and state-of-the-art technological advancements of a national health system, along with the personalized care that helps you feel better. Because we see all of you.
Two teams who haven't won since May 20th on the pitch at Trinity Health. San Diego on the Evan Conway goal, a 1-0 lead on Hartford Athletic. Let us go through our USL storylines for Week 18, and some teams in this league playing extremely well.
Yeah, Memphis were one of them until last night, and then they lost 4-0 at home to San Diego. 12 games unbeaten prior to that, and it was a super run. So many games like that this season in the Eastern Conference, just anomalies. El Paso, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay all in form as well. That's a really good signing for San Diego. Carlos Guzman, the fullback, plays for the Mexican national team, reunited with his former teammate Alejandro Guido at San Diego Loyal. And 14 of the current USL players were away at the Gold Cup, representing 12 different nations, including Hartford's very own Tristan Hodge, who they're glad to finally have back.
Yeah, you mentioned Guzman, a guy who Nate Miller says they've been looking to bring in for a while. They're just waiting for the visa issues to be taken care of, and then he'll be good to go and help strengthen that San Diego backline.
Yeah, and you can play him at fullback, you can play him at wing back. It gives you the option because they've switched between 3 and 4 this season, and Adrian Perez is playing as a right wing back tonight. He's probably better off a little bit further forward. He's a good signing. He really is. He's got so much experience, and he'll be a super addition to this league.
Let us check the table, a.k.a. the standings in the Eastern Conference. Memphis could have tied for first last night, but things went askew at home, as you mentioned. 3 teams tied for first, and again, the anomaly. Charleston Battery, one of those 3 teams with a minus goal differential.
Only 3 of those 12 teams have a positive goal difference. It's ridiculous. And it just shows you that on any given day, any team can beat any other team. Momentum's a huge thing. Hartford needs to try and find it from somewhere, because that defeat against Loudoun, if they had been able to hold on to the lead, move level with Miami on 13, and Loudoun would only been 3 points ahead. Now, a 9-point gap between Loudoun and Hartford.
And Hartford still has yet to play Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay, who they'll see twice more, and have to go down to Western Tennessee to play Memphis. Let's go back and take a look at our story, or at our keys to the game coming in to this one as you watch the crowd enjoy some of the refreshments. You know, we have not paid anybody to go down and get us refreshments during the match. I think that's a tactical error on our part.
Well, there are those listening that might think we've had refreshments before the game. Yeah, the midfield tracking runners, it's been all right. The problem has been the defense. It needs a run of games where it's the same players playing alongside the same players. You can build up some sort of relationship. But again, it still doesn't mean that the midfield can just do what they want. They still have to try and watch the runners from midfield. And for San Diego Loyal, it's probably gone the way I thought it was going to go, in that San Diego is a good side who will create chances, but they do give up opportunities. And what Nate Miller's trying to do is squeeze the play a little bit more so that Hartford don't have as much space to play into.
And Omid Namazi has said he will use all 5 of his substitutes. I would expect we'll see him use them all in the second half.
Yeah, I think we'll see Sheldon at left back. I think Kyle Edwards will come on, and I think Andre Lewis is needed in the middle of the park as well.
Second 45 on the way between Hartford and San Diego. Loyal leading it by a score of 1-0 at the half.
An injured knee might look pretty simple, but there's a whole person behind that injury. One who misses the feel of his jump shot and spending time with friends on the court. It's not enough just to heal. He needs to get back out there. At Trinity Health, we're here to help you reach your goals. We combine all the knowledge and expertise of a national health system with personalized healthcare that treats the individual behind the injury. Because we see all of you.
Achievement takes more than having a dream. It takes having the spirit to beat the odds. It takes the courage to pursue a passion, the heart to turn a house into a home, and the determination to turn an idea into an enterprise. I'm the Hartford Buck, and I see the human in human achievement.
With insurance from the Hartford, the Buck's got your back.
Our students are looking to stand out, not blend in, which is a good thing considering the 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio. USJ's academic experience is built on dynamic learning opportunities that extend into labs, internships, and collaboration with faculty, and are designed to both challenge and support students in their professional development. So if you're looking for an education that will help you make your mark in the world, visit usj.edu.
Announcing the inaugural Capital City Music and Beer Festival, presented by Hoffman Auto. 80s Night with a Flock of Seagulls on July 14th, and Reggae Vibrations Tour with the legendary Wailers on July 15th. 2 days, 6 bands, and 40 brands of beer.
You take a look into the Hartford sky on this muggy evening here in the Insurance City. Along with Mark Donaldson and our Power Station crew, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. So, obviously, Hartford's got to do a little bit better, or a lot better, defending. But from an offensive standpoint, what would you like them to see them do better?
Not take as many touches. Next time Hartford have got the ball, there's 2 or 3 times we saw in the first half, there's maybe 3 or 4 touches when 1 or 2 are due. Not taking as many touches means you can get the ball forward quicker. By taking as many touches as they have, on certain occasions, because there have been some really good moves that have opened up the San Diego defense, but there have been times whereby by taking 3, 4, 5 touches, it's allowing San Diego to get back and to get set. Whereas if you can get the ball, if you've just won it back and you've got it back in transition, get it forward quickly. I'd like to see them cross the ball more, because I know in modern day, everyone looks to score the perfect goal, start with the goalkeeper, give it to the centre-back, to the other centre-back, to the full-back, send it forward that way, play it over the top. Sometimes when you've got the ball in a wide area and you've got a striker who's managed to get free of his marker in the middle of the box, get the ball in. And if he doesn't win the header, win the second ball. Don't try and overplay.
Kyle Edwards going down to warm up, as well as Robin Lappert. It'll be athletic ball. Hartford will go towards the south end of Trinity Health Stadium. Elvis Amo staying over the ball. Second 45 underway. Barrera tries to play it for a streaking Openo, but the ball was well short. Now, played up ahead by Corona. Rito can't control. Bodily with the head to Toomey. Toomey 1v2 to an open Bodily. Drops the ball back to Elijah Martin. And redistributes back to reset to Grant Stoneman. Stoneman getting the start tonight for Kyle Adams, who had the penalty in the box that led to the second Hayden Quinn penalty kick that tied the game last week. And Adams has found himself on the bench. He's played 16 times this year and started them all. And Matt Sheldon with 16 starts this season and leading Hartford in minutes played. Not on the pitch yet. Bodily off the steal. Played away. Bodley gets it back. Played into the box. Played back. A shot. Deflected out of there. Connor McGlynn. Johnny on the spot. It'll be a deep throw in. Now we've got a San Diego player. I think it's Adrian Perez down as you look at Joe Rice getting his 6th start. Looking for win number 1. It is Adrian Perez, the Ontario, California native, who spent the last 2 years with DC United as the head athletic trainer, Paulina Maldonado, gets out there. This is such an important game for Hartford because obviously you want to break the winless streak. You want to get Omid Namazi's first win. But they go on the road for 3 after this, at Tulsa, at Las Vegas, at San Antonio.
They've actually been better on the road.
Interestingly enough, as you look at Omid.
Whether the stats say that, they play in a slightly different style on the road. I don't think it's a pressure of playing at home or anything like that, but what you normally find when you've got a team at home, the onus is kind of on them to go and have a go and to press.
And entertain.
And when you're on the road, you can sit back. You're not going to get the fans having a go, but you can also pick your moments. So I don't think it's a bad thing that Hartford are off on a road trip.
Deep throw in. Toomey gives it away. Hodge there for Athletic. Merrill with space up the left channel. Stops and plays it back, and Hartford forms up. Danny Barrera wearing the captain's armband for the 2nd straight game, after he had it taken away at the beginning of the season in favor of Niall Logue. Now here's McGlynn, watched carefully by the goal scorer, Evan Conway. Scored in the 17th minute. Hartford being deliberate. McGlynn up to Edgardo Rito. Cuts past Bodley into the middle. Gives to Sadie. Amo trying to time his run, but the ball deflected away, and Bodley plays it back to Martin. Conway on the turn.
It's a good touch by McGlynn there.
Now Blake Bodley. Off the captain, Charlie Adams. Stoneman gets involved in the middle. Nice move by Perez to spin away from Merrill. Hodge can't keep it in. It'll be a San Diego throw-in.
It's getting to the stage whereby you're going to have to make a change at left back here, if it's Matt Sheldon or whoever, because Adrian Perez has got Luke Merrill on toast.
Don't miss our next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, Saturday, August 5th at 7 p.m. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. That match against New Mexico. Deep throw in. Toomey Moshoban was going to take it, and he leaves it for Conway. Conway splits the double team. Tripped up by Amo. That'll be a foul on Elvis. In the Hartford defensive third. Pretty obvious call for Alexis De Silva, who's handed out 3 yellow cards thus far, all to the orange and white of San Diego Loyal.
Ref's been fine tonight. It's important that you identify when that happens, because there's certainly been 2 or 3 that have deserved the stick that has come their way, the officials, but there's been some really good performances as well.
Here's Charlie Adams. Sails it over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Joe Rice. Shots 9-6 San Diego. Hartford does not have a shot on target yet. Looks like Lapper and Edwards will be the first 2 Athletic subs. Back heel to Openo, too far. And Charlie Adams gets it back. Obvious push on Tristan Hodge. That's an easy one.
One of the things that Tab Ramos was criticized for was taking too long to make substitutions. Already we've seen Omid Namazi against Loudoun, and now today, if he's not happy at the start of the second half, he doesn't hang about. And we're going to see Kyle Edwards and Robin Lappert come on. The interesting thing is going to be, is it going to be a straight swap? Kyle Edwards on for Elvis Amo, or is he going to change formation and possibly play that two as a pair? Robin Lappert might mean they go to a back three.
There's a push on Paris. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, Joe. Is Luke Merrill one of the players coming off? Niall Logue. So that right now suggests they're sticking with the four. And the other one.
Looks like Openo's night is done.
Interesting. So Edwards for Openo, which is probably going to be a straight swap. So the likelihood is it's still going to be a 4-2-3-1.
And Openo taking the long way around to get back to the Hartford bench.
Yeah, it has to. The new law that came in 2 or 3 years ago, you've got to leave the pitch at the closest possible area. Otherwise, teams who were ahead were able to time waste. And they used to get the message on to the player that was coming off, get as far away as possible, and then we'll take you off.
Torres does a good job of avoiding the triple team. Now McGlynn gives it left to Lappert. Robin Lappert changes direction. Sends towards the box. Sadie back to Edwards, puts it on goal. Shoots it wide, and San Diego wondering where the offside flag was.
One was off, one was on. Now, this replay will tell us if the correct decision was arrived at. We didn't see enough of it. If we were able to run that back a little bit more, we would have found out what they were complaining about.
And Edwards in the game right away, gets called for a foul with a push off on Elijah Martin. Changes fields. Sends it over to Riley. Corona. Up ahead. There's a push. Merrill called for the push on Perez. And once again, Adrian Perez slow to get up.
Here's the example. It's played forward by Lappert. That would suggest that they're both offside, and that was why they were complaining about it. Certainly Kyle Edwards was in a more advanced position. It's a different phase when he has the shot, so he's back onside by then, but that was certainly pretty close.
So, Corona and Adams over the ball about 15 yards in. It'll be Adams towards the box, put in the air. We got a foul as Edwards was pushed out. So Hartford will quickly try to restart. Good ball by Adams into the box, though.
They've moved Tristan Hodge back, and it looks like it's a back three, so that'll allow Luke Merrill to play as a left wing back and not have to worry as much about his defending. And it looks like it's a 3-5-2 with Rito as a right wing back, Edwards and Elvis Amo, with Prince Sadie kind of playing the number 10 role. So a 3-4-1-2, 3-5-2 from Hartford, with Robin Lappert, the left centre back.
Rio, too much pace on the ball for Torres. Elijah Martin comes back. Wide open in the middle. Corona tackled off the ball. Sadie pushes down Martin. On goal, save made, rebound. Edwards can't get a boot on it. Rito keeps possession. Into the box. Chip knocked away. First corner of the night for Hartford.
Right, the problem there is Kyle Edwards. Prince Sadie has done so well. Kyle Edwards has got to anticipate that the goalkeeper will parry the ball, but watch Kyle Edwards, the number 17 here, if we get the opportunity. Prince Sadie, good effort on goal. Kyle Edwards, far too slow, and by the time he switched on, the defender is able to clear. But a corner for Hartford, better from the homes.
First of the night, Barrera to the left of Koke Vegas. That was Hartford's first shot on target tonight. Tries to play it out. McGlynn, back to Rito. Put in the air. Hamo tries to run it down, he does. Elvis, 1v1 on the far side. Shot is deflected, and Vegas comes off the line to field it, and they say no, he didn't. Another corner kick for Hartford. Since 2018, the fix has been Hartford County's leading wellness spa. Whether you need a quick B12 shot to increase energy or a vitamin infusion to rehydrate, this is the place to reset your mind and body. Take time, treat yourself, invest in your health. Here's the corner, headed away from danger. And we get a push called on Luke Merrill. And getting set to check in for San Diego, Alejandro Guido. 28-year-old from Chula Vista, California. Midfielder by trade. Now Moshoban. Changes direction, sends it left to Martin. Martin, unencumbered, into Hartford territory. Distributes left to Bodley. And Moshoban takes a dive, and that's called on Tristan Hodge and sets up a potentially dangerous direct kick for San Diego. So it'll be Guido in for Charlie Adams, playing just his second game back. And it'll be Guido who takes the captain armband. Nate Miller saying during the week that Guido leads by performance, Adams more of a vocal leader. 1-0 in favor of the visitors from San Diego, their first ever appearance at Trinity Health Stadium. As you see, Moshoban finally gets up. Joe Corona, who turns 33 tomorrow. Number 15 with Moshoban to the right of Joe Rice. Moshoban fakes. Corona puts it in the air. And Rito will bring it out of danger for Athletic.
It's a good header by Robin Lapper.
Plays it up ahead for Edwards and kicked into row 2 of the supporters section. (1-0). Shots 9-8 in favor of San Diego. Shots on target 3-1. Now Barrera, the captain. Wheels right, stops. Fakes, gives it to Torres. On the right to an open Rito. Tries to get by Bodley. Too much pace. Taken off the ball. San Diego starts back the other way. Bodley in the middle of the Moshoban. He's got room and momentum. Still with it. Plays it man open. Conway scores. And Joe Rice is furious.
Edgardo Rito was heralded as an excellent signing when he came here. And going forward, he can do good things, but he gave it away, and as a result, there was no one to help cover on the right-hand side. There's still a heck of a lot of work to do, but that's not a tackle by Tristan Hodge.
Conway all by himself, daintily uses the left foot to beat Rice. So it's a brace for Evan Conway. And it's a 2-0 lead for San Diego. Flourish Catering, proud to be the official caterer of Hartford Athletic. Flourish Catering offers individually packaged and buffet-style catering for teams, meetings, and organizations. Eat like an athlete with Flourish Catering. Is Matt Sheldon will be the next sub in for Athletic. So 2 goals for Conway, 2 assists for Tumi Moshaban, and Hartford with a large mountain to climb here in the 62nd minute. Now Barrera, watched by Guido. 2 captains to Sadie. Plays it through for Edwards, but Vegas off the line before Edwards can get it on his foot.
It's pretty damning to say that the opposition, when they play Hartford's best chance of scoring is when Hartford have the ball. Because when the opposition wins it back through a stray pass, it leaves Hartford players out of position. And that's twice they've taken advantage.
Here comes San Diego again. Into the box, left-footed shot. Whistled wide. Opportunity for Adrian Perez, as Luke Merrill's night will come to an end, and Matt Sheldon, the veteran from Portland, Oregon, will come off the bench for the first time this season. Hartford's leader in minutes played with 1,327 coming in, comes in the 63rd minute.
Maybe we're trying to work out it's his 6th or his 7th different position that he has played this season, Matt Sheldon. He has played at left wing back before. Slightly surprising that Luke Merrill was chosen to start there ahead of him.
Torres doing all sorts of dribbling. Finally gets a whistle. So Hartford with 2 subs left and 1 substitution channel to utilize. Now here's Rito, but getting there first, Blake Bodley, who very quietly has had a solid game for San Diego.
Very steady, very steady. What Hartford have to work on is, it sounds like it shouldn't work, but it will. You know Rito is going to try and get forward, and you know there are times he's going to give the ball away. But when he does, you have to work on who's going where. If he's forward and left out of the picture, he can't get back to defend. Ideally, he doesn't give the ball away, but that's the type of player that he is.
Speaking of Rito, finds Torres.
Better.
Nice pass to Rito on the run. Plays it ahead for Edwards, too far.
Awareness as well. So Kyle Edwards, by the time the ball was struck, had strayed offside.
So, goal kick for San Diego, leading 2-0. Westfield Bank, proud to support Hartford Athletic and all they do to make our communities better. Need more convenience from your bank? Well, at Westfield Bank, you can bank your way. Learn more at westfieldbank.com. Matt Sheldon called for the foul in the middle third. In San Diego, and no rush to put the ball back into play. In fact, they play it back to Vegas, who comes, again, way out of the goal. He comes farther out than any goalie we've seen at home this season.
Yeah, but he's comfortable doing that.
Right. It's all part of their plan.
A lot of goalkeepers in Spain, and he is a super goalkeeper, a lot of goalkeepers in Spain of his age, he's 27, they're part of the drills, they're part of the passing. And look at that for a left-footed pass.
Perfect. On target.
It then means you don't have to have an extra centre-back or an extra full-back in there when he can do the job that they can do, and it gives you an extra body going forward. It's no surprise that Manchester United are set to sign Andre Onana, who Eric Ten Hag has had before, from Inter, because David De Gea, while being a good shot stopper, is not good with the ball at his feet.
Long crossfield pass. Here's Martin, or rather Guido. Off on the left. Nice slide tackle by Connor McGlynn to take it off the boot of Bodley. Back comes Hartford the other way. Rito with a burst of speed against the double team.
Should it be a San Diego ball, but
Hartford are throwing, though. Hartford will take it.
We spoke in the first half about winning the second ball. Connor McGlynn making the error there, and there was no one near him to win that second ball for Hartford.
So Hodge has dropped back. It's McGlynn, Hodge, and Lappert.
Yeah, it's a 3-5-2.
As Hartford goes 3 in the back, long ball ahead. Vegas up in the air, and Edwards is going to get called for a foul. Kyle saying to Mr. De Silva, I didn't mean to. Koke Vegas not as interested in the explanation as you look at the keeper in his second year on the job.
Yeah, it's inadvertent. It's certainly not malicious. He's got to be in that position to challenge, and it's unfortunate. It's certainly not a yellow card, but that's what he's been given.
And they've called the head athletic trainer, Paulina Maldonado, out to take a look. 65 minutes in, battle of first place teams. Pittsburgh and Sacramento are scoreless. Tulsa at Indianapolis leads 1-0. Halftime, Tampa Bay down in Central Florida, a 2-0 lead on Oakland. And Tulsa leading at Indianapolis 1-0. Miami up 2-1 at home against Phoenix.
Wow. That'd be a good win for them.
They attend to the left knee of Koke Vegas. His backup, Duran Ferree, all of 16 years old, has started 3 matches this year.
Yeah, he made his debut against Tampa Bay last year as a 15-year-old. While he's getting treatment, hopefully we're going to avoid any showers. I think the thunder and the lightning is far enough away that it shouldn't bother us, certainly by the time the game ends. I think it's easy in life, Joe, to identify problems. It's a lot harder to find a solution. So Tab Ramos tried, and for whatever reason, it didn't work. Okay, now Omid Namazi's got to try. What Hartford have to do, confirmation that Kyle Edwards got the yellow card there for that challenge. What Hartford have to do is they want to keep a defense that knows each other and has played together often. But that defense might have to be a 5. It might have to be a 5-4-1 because they're too open. If you concede the most goals in the league, you've got to do something a little bit different. So yes, we've identified all the problems and lots of problems that Hartford have got, but they need to find a formation that suits. And that formation might be a defensive 5-4-1 formation just to get back on track.
Torres plays it into the middle. Amo against the double team and called for a high foot. Crowd doesn't like it.
It probably was. It's one of these, I always think it's difficult for an official to decide between a high boot when a defender puts his head down. But if it is dangerous play, if the boot makes connection with a part of the opposition body, it's probably the right decision, even though the home fans didn't like that.
Approaching the 70th minute. 2 goals by Evan Conway. Here comes Toomey on the run. Avoids Barrera. Gets it over on the left to Conway. Cross field. In the box. Perez taking off his foot. San Diego keeps possession. Plays it back to Guido. And they reset.
They'd be more clinical tonight. They could easily have had twice as many goals as they've got.
Hodge with a good tackle, and then Torres goes down, and the foul is called. Randy's Worcester Street Pizza, the official pizza of Hartford Athletic. Stop by the stadium or visit their other Connecticut locations to enjoy some of the best pizza Connecticut has to offer. Well, it looks like the last 2 subs for Hartford are going to be Kembo Cabato and Andre Lewis. Here's Athletic. Merrill tries to send it in. Or rather, not Merrill, but Sheldon. Now Rito. Back to Sadie. In the middle. Here's Amo trying to load up. Shoots it wide.
Close, though. The good thing that Elvis did there was very little backlift, and that allowed the goalkeeper absolutely no time whatsoever to set himself to make the dive. But again, it was played quicker from Hartford there. That's better. It's the slow passing or the 20 passes when it should be 10 or 5 touches when it should be 3. And a couple of final changes for Hartford with Danny Barrera and Juan Pablo Torres being replaced.
Good to see Kembo Cabato back on the pitch for the first time since he was hurt in week 3 against Birmingham. He has not played the last 14 games. So Andre Lewis in for Juan Pablo Torres. So Hartford trying to load up on the firepower, down 2-0 in the 73rd minute. Stoneman up ahead on the right. Into the middle. Here's Guido. Plays it square on the left to Martin. Martin, watched by Cabato. Drops it back. Colin Martin. Toomey. Knocks it away and gets called for the foul. Toomey Moshaban from South Africa. 4th year with San Diego. And that's the thing, Mark, you look at their roster.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who have been there for a while.
Well, look at their starting lineup. Joe Corona, Adrian Perez, Blake Bodley. Only 3 of the 11 weren't here at the football club last year. It's consistency of selection. You need to get very lucky if you keep making changes to finally hit the bullseye with the team you end up with.
So Kave Rod will be the only Hartford player not to be chosen. Takeaway by Conaway. And he takes a pretty good shoulder from Hodge. Nice play by Tristan.
I don't think I would want to bump into Tristan Hodge.
No.
He looks like he spends a lot of time in the gym.
Now Rito has had the ball on his foot a lot tonight. Against the double. Drops it back to Cabato. Chips it towards the box for Edwards. Tries to get a header on it while facing out from the goal. And Coque Vegas made the catch.
The one thing, if I was Hartford, that would give me confidence is San Diego was 2-0 up away from home last Saturday and didn't win, and that was against 10 men. They conceded 2 goals in the last 24 minutes. A little less time for Hartford, but if they can get the next goal, they can easily get something out of this game. But can they get trouble and pressure on Coque Vegas' goal?
Along with Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. 2-0. San Diego in front as they play it back to the aforementioned Coque Vegas. The Performance Lab is an all-inclusive model that brings the latest technologies for pain relief, wellness, and mobility together under one roof. With one-on-one treatments and a customized approach to fit your needs, the Performance Lab will get you moving and feeling your best.
Just watching Omid Namazi there, frustration at Matt Sheldon, who either wasn't aware of his surroundings or didn't know who was near him. And from the big clearance upfield from Coque Vegas, got his head to it when he was under no pressure and conceded a needless throw. And Omid was, well, he's got a good head of hair, but he was trying to pull some of it out. Self-inflicted wound.
Yep. It has been a problem all season long. Open on the left, Bodley. Cuts to the middle, looks to load up. Shot deflected, rebound free. Toomey can't get a shot off. Watched by Lappert, gets inside of him. It's like he's got a string on his foot with the ball on it. Stoneman pressing up. Here's a shot, punched over the goal. Hard shot by Cam Riley, and it'll be the 3rd corner kick of the night for Loyal.
I was just thinking, in the last 2 home games, the opposition has had subs warming up and ready to come on. San Diego has prepared 3 right now. And in that time, the opposition has scored. And I wondered if it was going to be 3rd game in a row. It may yet be, with the 3 still waiting to come on and San Diego preparing a corner.
So San Diego has Toomey and Corona. Corona headed by Stoneman. Bodley will get there first. Or rather, Conway gets it back from Bodley. Wide open, Guido, blocked. Knocked away, and Matt Sheldon comes up limping. Long ball, up ahead, Rito can't get there first. Beaten to the ball. Good play by Matt Sheldon there, giving up the body to block that. Quickly thrown into Edwards. Kyle plays it off the San Diego player. It'll be a throw-in for Hartford. As we hit the 78th minute.
Could that ball forward for Rito have been better? If it could have been, and I don't want to say it definitely could have been because it wasn't the easiest pass, but if it was played wider, further down this right-hand side, then you would have fancied Rito, but the angle was narrowed and the defender got there first. Time for 3 changes for San Diego.
Ronaldo Damas in for Conway. Morgan Hackworth in for Bodley. And let's see what the last change is.
Toomey.
Toomey's night is over. And Elliot Collier in his first year with Loyal takes the pitch. Holiday Inn Express Newington, conveniently located in the heart of the dining and shopping district of Newington on the Berlin Turnpike routes 5 and 15. Whether you need one night or an extended stay, the hotel will make your stay convenient and cost-effective. Elliot Collier comes in for Toomey Moshaban, who set up both Conway goals. So both clubs substituting liberally. Elijah Martin plays it up ahead. Collier sprints after it, but a little too much mustard, and it'll go over the touchline.
He's a handful, the big Kiwi, New Zealander.
6'4". Played last year with San Antonio FC. Hartford looking for that 3rd goal to try to put a little doubt in San Diego's mind. As Mark mentioned, they had a 2-0 lead last week and gave it up on 2 Aiden Quinn penalty kicks against Indy. Played ahead up on the left. Played back behind Sadie. Gives San Diego a chance to get back. Not a good pass by Matt Sheldon. Now Cabato gets involved with Ronaldo Damas, the Haitian international.
It's decision-making, Joe, in the final third.
Right. And execution.
Well, there isn't an opportunity for the execution
because
if the decision-making isn't good enough to begin with. What was it you mentioned? The attempt from Prince Sadie was Hartford's first on target of the night when Kyle Edwards was on his heels rather than on his toes for the rebound. It's all right having all of the ball. It's all right looking pretty when you go out, but if you end up coming back home and having a miserable night, doesn't matter how pretty you look. It's a miserable night.
Tonight's Business Alliance partner of the match is USL International. I always look as pretty when I get home as I did at the start of the night.
I saw you in a vest yesterday.
That was not me. Oh, yes, you did. It was a vest.
What was you going to say? That was not me?
Well, it was a beach shirt.
Yes, it was Zoom, by the way. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't in person, folks. We like each other, not that much.
Not yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there by October. Tom Stanwicks, Bobby Kaplan, and the Power Station crew providing the pictures and the graphics and all the good stuff. Lewis got a foot on it, racing for it On the near side was Morgan Hacksworth, Pennsylvania native. In alone, pass in the middle, and Hartford dodges a bullet there. Once again, the back line almost undressed. Here's Prince Sadie. Wheels in the middle. And he tried to pass it to Amo, and Amo was covered by 4 men.
He was covered by 4 men, and he was offside. And Kyle Edwards is saying that to him. Why didn't you play that to me? Again, a lack of quality and decision-making in the final third.
Kyle Adams will be the next substitute. Here's Holsworth. Gets it back to Corona. San Diego obviously very patient. As the Stones once said, time is on their side. Adams will come in for Elijah Martin, who's played a solid, if unspectacular game on the left side. He's got it now. Plays it ahead to Joe Corona. Watched by Cabato. Back to Martin. Now Guido gets involved. Shots 13-9 in favor of San Diego. Shots on target 5-1. And now here's Kyle Adams, who had started every previous game he had been selected for, all 16 of them, to come in for Elijah Martin, whose night has come to an end.
Yeah, he paid a big price, Kyle Adams, for his mistake last week against Indy that led to Aidan Quinn scoring the penalty. Glorious hair.
Well, and Cave Rodis paid the price for his mistake. He has not hit the pitch tonight. Long ball. Sheldon tries to run under it. He does. Plays it in for Edwards and knocked out by Stoneman.
Going back to the...
And Robert Lappert, sorry.
Yeah,
Mark
Lappert
gets a yellow card in the 84th
with the yellow
minute.
card. Going back to the find a solution to the problem. I gave you a 5-4-1. The one for me would be Prince Sadie as a lone striker, because you keep going back to the well with Elvis Amo. It ain't working right now. He's got no confidence, and he had a couple of shots tonight. One went over, but he needs to get his goal off the bench for me. So Prince Sadie would be the lone striker. Then you can really compact the midfield. You've got Cabato coming back. He's not ready yet for 90, but when he is, he could be in there. The creativity is still required. You can't just have 9 defensive players and a Prince Sadie, so you still need a Danny Barrera type in there as well. But Tristan Hodge, he's dropped back to centre-back. He started off as a defensive midfield. Left-back is an issue for Hartford. You could play him on the left-back area. You then have the 3 centre-backs. Do you play Rito as the right back in a 5, or do you play him as the right midfielder on a 4? Again, that's for Omid to decide. I don't think he's that convinced by Rito as a right midfielder or as a further forward player. But I just think you want to try and stop the opposition from getting the opportunities, because the problem is when Hartford have had so many opportunities in recent games, they haven't done anything with them. So rip it up and start again while we're on the song.
Ronald Damas
choice.
Causing all sorts of problems. Now Lapper. Nice change of pace. Finds Sheldon. Hodge in the middle. Damas tracking him back to Lapper, and they have to play it back to the keeper, Joe Rice. Now Andre Lewis. The head on the right, Kembo Cabato. Avoids a tackle. Here's Kembo. Gets it in the middle. Sadie. Gets it back. Tries to get around Martin. Prince gives to an open Cabato. Up on the right, this is Rito. And it's cleared out of there by Kyle Adams. 86th minute of play. 2-0 San Diego. Hartford Athletic proud to team up with Stop and Shop in all of our community efforts as we work together year-round in the fight against food insecurity. We'll have more stoppage time than we did at the end of the first half when we had just 2 minutes, but it's a Hartford team that has 1 shot on target in 89 minutes. Rito, open on the right wing. Cuts to the box. Tries to send it in front. Adams plays it back to Rito. Chips in the direction of Amo. Gets by Lewis. Lappert with a good effort to keep it in. Now Lewis. Dribbling left to right. Rito was on the run to the right. Lewis stops and gives back to Cabato. In the middle, Sadie open. Left footer. Hammers it high. And again, that's one of the big problems as you look at Prince Sadie is that Hartford, when they get opportunities, they don't put shots on goal. They've only had 3 shots inside the box tonight. And only 10 touches in the box. You can't win that way. Knocked away by McGlynn, but he gives it right back. Guido tries to play it for Damos. Instead on the counter, here's Cabato. Kembo tries to keep it in, but it'll be a throw-in for San Diego. As we head towards Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. Disappointing home debut as head coach for Omid Namazi. Previously served with the U.S. women's national team, the Iranian men's national team, the U18 and U20 USA men's national teams, and worked with Tab Ramos at the Houston Dynamo. Sadie comes back to help. Hodge up to an open Lapper. Tries to find Sheldon. He goes down, clutching his knee. Sadie drops it back to McGlynn. Off on the right to Rito. Edgardo sends it towards goal. One-hand punch out. Amo can't trap it. Shot is blocked. Meanwhile, Sheldon is still down. The ball came towards Matt, and he's still, as you see, huddled over on both knees after that contact earlier.
I was just watching Elvis Amo when the ball was parried in the air by Koki Vegas. It wasn't a great first touch by a player he's a good player, but he's lacking in confidence. It's a strong challenge, but Hartford has the ball. Advantage is played. It is ending up on the right-hand side. It does get into the middle of the box, but it wasn't a good first touch by Elvis Amo, and the eventual shot was blocked.
Amo taking off the ball, and San Diego plays it upfield towards Ronaldo Damas. On the run, in the box, Rice slides out to get it off his boot. Starts the counter for Athletic. Brignall Vineyard stoppage time. There are 4 minutes of stoppage time. 2-0. San Diego in the 17th and 61st minutes. Hartford was offside on that play. Cabato plays it back, and he absorbs a push from Joe Corona. Whistled down by our official, Alexis De Silva, who has pretty much stayed out of the way for most of the match. Next week, Hartford on the road. They begin their 3-game road trip at FC Tulsa, 9 o'clock on MyTV9 and ESPN+. Edwards can't get a boot on it, and Vegas off the line before Lappert can get there. Another frustrating night for the loyal fans, many of whom have made their way out of Trinity Health Stadium. Long ball played upfield by San Diego. Hodge gives it away to Guido. On the left side, Hackworth. And the foul is called. So when we look at this match tonight, to me, and I'm not as trained as Sakurai as you are, my friend, but it just seemed like more of the same for Hartford tonight.
I was thinking we've seen this movie before, and before, and before. So yeah, you have to make changes to try and get to where you want to be. But what are the changes that need to be made? You have to defend better.
Rito on the right. Kicks it off the San Diego defender.
Best defensive display I've seen at home from Hartford was against Louisville City.
Yep. No question. Scoreless tie. Now Andre Lewis chips it towards Rito. Volleys it towards the goal, and Edwards can't get a boot on it.
You know what? 92 minutes. And that's the first time that the fans that were on their seats ended up on their feet.
Right.
With a delicious reverse ball by Lewis that they weren't expecting. And the cross in, inches away from being converted, yet it's taken until the 92nd minute to do that.
Should be about another minute and a half of stoppage time. San Diego playing a terrific road game tonight, leading 2-0. Now Lewis wheels to his left, plays it for Edwards. Edwards taken down. That'll be a card. In the 93rd minute. Morgan Hackworth. Or no, it was Riley. Cam Riley with his 5th yellow card of the year. But the clock is ticking on Athletic as they try to avoid being shut out again. This will be their 2nd straight time they've been shut out at Trinity Health Stadium. Chip towards the box. McGlynn shielded. Ball goes out of play, and that should just about do it.
There's a lot of things to work on this week for Omid Namazi. Set plays is one of them. I mean, how many times have they had the opportunity to put pressure on Koke Vegas that they haven't taken? Overhit passes, overhit deliveries. Just not been good enough.
And at the beginning of the season, what we had heard was that they were going to be good at set pieces, and that is full time. So another disappointing effort at home for Hartford Athletic. 2 goals by Evan Conway, both set up by Tumi Moshaban. A clean sheet, 3rd of the year for Koke Vegas. 2-0, San Diego beats Hartford. Mark and I will come back and wrap it up next, right here on MyTV9 and ESPN+. Don't forget, join us for our next match right here at Trinity Health Stadium, Saturday, April 5th at 7 o'clock against New Mexico. Go to hartfordathletic.com for tickets and more information. The next match, a 3-game road trip, begins at Tulsa FC next Saturday, 9 o'clock on MyTV9 and ESPN+. And Rome wasn't rebuilt in a day, and I think Omid Namazi understands the severity of the job to try to right things here for the green and blue.
Yeah, there comes a time whereby you're never giving up on a season, but you've got to start looking at recruitment for the new season, and there's so many areas and positions that need strengthened. And I don't know if you need to get someone out to get someone in the short term, then that might be something that you can do, because it's a season that needs rescued. But right now, it's a problem because they're struggling to defend Hartford, and they were up against a good side tonight. San Diego coming here, winning by 2, and could have won by more, Joe.
San Diego ends its 6-match winless streak. Meanwhile, for Hartford, they've lost 5 straight. They are winless in 8. Thanks to our producer, Tom Stanwicks, our director, Bobby Kaplan, and our terrific crew. Final score, San Diego Loyal 2, Hartford Athletic 0. For my partner, Mark Donaldson, I'm Joe D'Ambrosio. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great evening.